First time I walked into an American grocery store, I thought I'd taken a wrong turn into an airport. Giant carts, aisles wider than European streets, and an entire wall dedicated to peanut butter. Why are American stores so huge and European ones so much more modest? Today, we're unpacking the real reasons behind the size, the snacks, and the shopping habits on both sides of Atlantic. Quick favor, before we roll that cart, hit like and tell me in the comments the weirdest or funniest thing you've ever seen in a grocery store. I'll go first. First time I saw a gallon of milk in America, I thought it was laundry detergent, and honestly, I'm still not convinced it isn't. In Europe, you can absolutely find big supermarkets. Carrefour in France, Tesco in the UK, Aldi and Leclerc all over. And yes, they have big carts too. But here's the thing. In America, that giant wide aisle, fill your cart kind of store isn't a special trip. It's the default. Even in small towns, your locally grocery store can feel more like a warehouse than a market. In Europe, it's common to have options: a bakery for your bread, a butcher for your meat, a small shop for essentials, and maybe a supermarket for a bigger haul once or twice a week. In the US, most people do it all in one place, once a week, often loading enough food into a car to feed a small army. I remember my first American grocery trip. I walked in for eggs, I walked out with a kayak, a pack of 60 muffins, and enough toilet paper to last through a zombie apocalypse, and somehow, I still forgot the eggs. And then there's a variety. 30 brands of peanut butter, 15 different milks, and a cereal aisle so long you can train for a 100-meter sprint in it. Even picking something as simple as pickles can feel like a life decision. Dill, sweet, bread and butter, kosher, spicy, organic, low sodium. I just wanted pickles, not a philosophy lessons. So why are American grocery stores so consistently big? First, it comes down to space. In the US, land is cheaper and more available, especially outside the big cities. That means you can build a grocery store the size of a football field with a massive parking lot. And people expect that. Second, it's about cars. America's entire shopping culture is built around driving. If you're already driving to the store, you might as well stock up for the week or the month. Big stores fit that perfectly. Third, economies of scale. Large stores can buy in huge quantities, which often lowers cost per unit. That's why you'll see giant family packs of chicken, gallon-sized tubs of ice cream, and snack aisles so long you start wondering if you need to pack a lunch just to finish shopping. In Europe, you can still find big supermarkets, but the average store is smaller because land costs more, cities are compact, and public transport or walking means you're not loading 40 pounds of groceries into the back of an SUV. The result? In America, the size isn't just an option, it's the standard. In America, grocery shopping is often a once-in-a-week mission. You'll get in the car, drive to the store, fill a cart until it looks like you're prepping for a snowstorm, and then unload it all into a fridge and pantry that could double a small storage unit. In Europe, it's often the opposite, smaller, more frequent trips. You pop into a shop on your way home from work, grab fresh bread, some vegetables, maybe meat for tonight, and you're out in minutes. Part of it comes down to storage space. American kitchens often have giant fridges and freezers, so stocking up makes sense. In many European apartments, the fridge might be the size of an American mini fridge, which forces you to shop more often and keeps the food fresher. There is also a difference in mindset. In America, our goal is efficiency, one big trip, minimal time wasted. In Europe, it can feel more like a routine or even a social activity. Stop by the bakery, chat with the butcher, maybe grab a coffee on the way home. I remember going shopping with my aunt in Serbia. We stopped at 3 different stores, ran into 2 people she knew, and somehow came home with no bread. Bought a bag of peaches and rumor about someone's cousin's wedding. In America, the same trip would have been one store self-checkout and maybe a receipt longer than Declaration of Independence. If there's one thing American grocery stores love, it's variety. You don't just buy peanut butter. You choose between creamy, chunky, natural, organic, low-fat, with honey, with chocolate, and probably one that promises to make you live forever. The same goes for milk: cow, oat, almond, soy, coconut, lactose-free, ultra-filtered, half and half. At some point, you start wondering if the store is selling milk or hosting a science fair. And it's not just what's on the shelves. Ever notice that the milk is always in the back of the store? That's not an accident. Stores design layouts to make you walk past as many products as possible. You came for milk, but now your car somehow has chips, cookies, and a candle that smells like autumn leaves. I have one of those moments with pasta sauce. In Europe, I picked between maybe 4 jars: tomato, marinara, pesto, done. In America, I stood there frozen staring at an entire wall of sauces. Garlic roasted, fire roasted, extra chunky, garden style, vodka sauce, gluten-free, organic, artisanal. After 5 minutes, I realized I wasn't even hungry anymore. I was just overwhelmed. In Europe, you still see variety, of course, but generally fewer options. It's less about overwhelming choice and more about essentials. Meanwhile, in America, sometimes it feels like the supermarket is daring you to have an identity crisis over spaghetti night. Another big difference is how Americans think about price and value in the grocery store. In the US, bigger almost always feels better. That's why you see bulk pack, jumbo boxes, and a family size stamped on half of their products. The idea is simple. The more you buy, the better deal you're getting. Coupons, loyalty cards, buy one, get one free offers. American stores are masters of making making you feel like you're saving money, even if you end up buying way more than you planned. And honestly, sometimes the discounts are so complicated you feel like you need a math degree just to get an orange juice. In Europe, the focus is less on massive bulk discounts and more on steady pricing and smaller packaging. Sure, you still need to find deals, but you're less likely to see people buying a pack of 48 yogurts because it was too good of a deal to pass up. I once tried to buy toilet paper here in the US and realized the smallest pack available was 24 rolls. In Europe, that will last the family for months. In America, they just call being prepared for the weekend. Shopping in America doesn't just end the shelves. The whole checkout experience is different too. For starters, self-checkout machines are everywhere. In some stores, it feels like you're working part-time for the supermarket, scanning, bagging, paying, and hoping the machine doesn't yell at you about unexpected item in the bagging area. Bagging is another culture shock. In the US, it's common to have baggers, employees who actually pack your groceries for you. In Europe, usually on your own, speed packing like your life depends on it, while the cashier stares you down and the next customer's bed is already sliding towards you. Alcohol is another difference. In the US, you can often buy beer and wine in the supermarket itself, though the rules vary widely by state. In Europe, it's normal too, but sometimes the selection is better, cheaper, and let's be honest, more fun. In parts of the US, meanwhile, you might walk into a store in one state and buy wine, but cross the border into another and suddenly you're in no wine allowed zone. And then there's the little quirks. Paper or plastic, pay for bags. Do you want loyalty points? One time in America, I ended up with 3 receipts, one for groceries, one for coupons, and one that was so long I considered using it as a wallpaper. Meanwhile, in Europe, you're more likely to get a tiny slip of paper that fits neatly in your pocket. Either way, finishing a grocery run feels like an event. In Europe, it's a quick errand. In America, it's an endurance sport. Beyond size, shopping habits, and variety, grocery stores also reflect cultural attitudes toward rules and the environment. In many European countries, plastic bags aren't free. You either pay for them or bring your own. That small rule changes the whole experience. Reusable bags, baskets, or even little carts on the wheels are common sights. In the US, bags have traditionally been free, although now more states are starting to charge for them too. Food waste is another big difference. European stores often stock smaller portions and emphasize local and seasonal produce, partly because space is limited, partly because the cultural value is freshness. In the US, you'll often see giant displays of produce and bulk packs that encourage buying more, which can also lead to throwing more away. Then there's alcohol and age rules. In Europe, grabbing a bottle of wine with your dinner ingredients feels normal. In the US, not only do the rules vary widely by state, but sometimes you'll be asked for ID even if you're clearly old enough to have taught Julius Caesar in high school. All of those little differences add up. Grocery stores aren't just about food. They're about how culture organizes itself, what it values, and even how it balances convenience with sustainability. So, what do American grocery stores and European supermarkets really show us? It's more than just food. It's about culture, lifestyle, and how each society thinks about convenience, variety, and even community. In America, bigger is better. Giant carts, weekly stock-ups, endless options. In Europe, it's smaller, fresher, and more personal. A quick stop on the way home instead of a full-blown expedition. And honestly, both there have their own charm. Sometimes you want the efficiency of one big trip, and sometimes you just want to grab a warm baguette on your way back home from work. But now, I want to hear from you. What's your funniest or strangest grocery store experience? Did you ever spend 20 minutes trying to pick a pasta sauce like I did? Or get completely lost in a cereal aisle? Drop it in the comments. I promise I'll laugh along with you. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who's ever been overwhelmed by too many choices. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.